All right, I'm just gonna call her. They're not gonna be on camera anyway. Yeah. Well, since neither of you are gonna be on camera, I'll just do it like this. Since neither of you want to share.
Camera, he got his shirt on.
If no one wants to be in the spotlight with me, then I'll just be on the spotlight by myself. That's fine. I don't mind. Did you know? Did you?
Got his shirt on.
Did you know that I was in a Christian rap group?
The what?
Did you know that I used to do Christian rap?
Yeah, I
know. So I don't.
The spotlight person.
I don't mind being in the spotlight. I don't have to share it. It's fine. I can do this all day. So how yeah, but my connection is slow. But that's okay. I'd rather have a slow connection. It always breaks up anyway when I try to do the thing.
The Facebook Live.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
If I have a bad signal and I'm doing Facebook Live, then it just like gets out of sync. So I got new glasses. They have flowers on them.
Nice.
Yeah, little flowers on them. You see?
What kind of flowers?
They're blue. I couldn't see the flowers because I needed glasses. Right?
Yeah.
They might be girl glasses. I don't know. I can't tell the sex of the glasses.
They're probably unisex. It's fine.
Yeah, they're probably unisex.
Yep.
Can Dylan hear me?
Yes, I can.
Dylan, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Things aren't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could be worse.
Yeah, I feel that.
Jenny, I did not want to do Esther. Not because I think that we shouldn't explore other books, but because she's a girl, and I thought I was going to have to hear some like woke lesson about how girls are dope too, and I was just like, I don't want to. I'm like feminine fatigued right now. I just can't deal with another female superhero. I'm just kidding. But I was actually... So when I read the Bible, I usually study for like things that are relevant to salvation, for the gospel. So that when I am trying to find relevance or significance or just share the gospel with people, I can find that in things that are relevant to salvation. And I don't feel every book is relevant to salvation. I feel like there's a value, like historic value, lessons, wisdom, and everything there. I just don't necessarily feel like you need to know it to be saved. But I am really happy that you guys, that you, Jennika, decided to do Esther. Because after I read it, I feel like it's one of my favorite stories in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, right? Isn't it good?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So I know something you don't know.
Okay.
But I think that you guys should go first on the story and just kind of narrate, summarize how the story goes, what you guys got from it, and then I'll share with you what I found out.
All right. Our notes are together again, so
I can summarize it if you want.
yeah, you want to summarize it? Helps my throat.
Yes, I can barely talk. So pretty much starts out that King Xerxes of the Persian Empire throws a huge, I don't even know what you want to call it, basically a party, and it
You can
lasts
say
about
why.
100.
You can say why he was throwing the party.
Well,
What do you mean, why? He just showed that he was wealthy.
yeah.
Oh! You're way at the beginning. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, I thought you were getting. I thought you were jumping ahead, but you didn't jump ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna start it's like from beginning to end, pretty much. I'll keep it short, but
No. Go ahead.
okay. So he's throwing a huge party. It lasts like 180 days or something like that. Just to basically show that he's wealthy and he's king and all this kind of stuff. And at one point he decides to show off his wife. You know, he's drunk. He's had a lot of wine to drink, and he's around all these other guys. So he wants to show off. Her name's like Vashti or Vashti or something like that. I don't know.
I want to say Vashti.
Vashti? That sounds right. To show off her beauty, and she refuses him, which is a big no-no, refusing the king. And so she gets banished. And so then he's in search of a new queen. And he's got a bunch of women. They go through this long, extensive process to try to look their best for him.
6 months of oils, and then another 6 months of ointments and perfumes.
6 months. It was a purification. So they chose 7 women, right? And they did 12. So I found out why they did that. The purification ritual was done to make sure that nobody was pregnant too. So that's why it lasted that long. But it was six months of myrrh and 6 months of oils and perfumes.
Yep. So they go through that. In the end, he chooses Esther, and she's Jewish, which is important. And she was raised by Mordecai because her parents died.
Her stepdad, yep.
Yep, stepdad, basically. And so she wins the king's heart. But Mordecai tells her to keep it a secret that she's Jewish, you know, for safety reasons, obviously, because, you know, not everybody likes the Jews back then. A lot of people were, you know, whatever. So he tells her to keep it quiet. So she does, and so you know they're going on whatever.
Mordecai tells her to keep it quiet.
Yeah, Mordecai does. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And so Mordecai would like patrol around the palace. He wasn't exactly allowed in, but he patrols around the palace to make sure she's okay. You know, word of mouth. Here's she's okay. She's doing good. Whatever. And he overhears. I believe it was 2
guards.
Yeah, guards saying that their plot to kill the king.
There are 2 eunuchs.
Eunuchs, okay. And so he hears this, and he warns Esther to tell the king, which ends up saving his life. She goes to the king and says, "Hey, you know, these 2 guys are planning to kill you, but I didn't hear this myself. I heard this from Mordecai, giving him all the credit." And so, you know, King Xerxes verifies it. Whatever they get killed anyway. And but nothing was ever done to I won't say praise, but to thank Mordecai for what he did, saving the king's life.
Well, so you know how when Hanan sees Mordecai, he meets him at the king's gate, right?
Yep.
So that gate was in a courtyard. The reason why Mordecai was allowed there was his payment. So to be in that courtyard in that presence was payment.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So yeah, he wasn't rewarded just yet, but that'll be important later on. So anyway, then we get to Haman. Is that how you say it?
It's the Greek the English translation from Hebrew was Haman, Haman. No, Hanan, Hanan. Right? And then the Greeks called them Anan, Anan.
Okay, I gotcha. And he
Haman.
is the king's...
Haman. H-A-M-A-N, I'm sorry.
H-A-M-N. Okay, that's what I thought. He is the king's highest official,
Yeah.
closest advisor, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he obviously has a lot of power himself, being right under the king. Part of his power at his position is that, he can make everyone bow to him. I'm sure it strokes his ego a little bit. And so he tells everyone to bow, and Mordecai refuses to bow to him. Which I would probably do the same.
Why would you not bow to him, but everyone else did? Why would you think that's right?
Because it's for his religious reasons.
Where do you get that from?
And it said he didn't show. He didn't bow anyone. He didn't bow to anyone other than God.
Who said that?
It's in the book.
Really? Wasn't it?
Yeah. I'll actually show you the verse. I think it was. What was it? Not that one. Suspension.
Dylan, you can keep going while Jennika finds it.
He said that he was a Jew. That's why he didn't bow to him.
I don't actually think it mentions God in.
No, it doesn't say that.
Right.
It doesn't say God's name at all. But the king's servant said, "Why do you transgress the king's command?"
Yeah.
Mordecai had told them that he was a Jew.
Yep.
And bowing is a sort of, it's like a sign of respect, but it can also be a form of worship.
It's very true. And he wasn't the king either, so.
Yeah, he wasn't the king, exactly. So it wasn't, there was no real reason for him to...
He could tell that the guy was, he was swinging.
Yeah. And so, this enrages Haman. His pride is hurt, and because, this one guy wouldn't bow to him. And so, since he finds out that Mordecai's a Jew, he just says, I just want to kill all the Jews. So, don't know how that, translates, but...
That's exactly what happened. They had no problem with the Jews until that happened.
Exactly. And, so he ends up convincing the king to sign a decree saying that...
which wasn't hard convincing.
Which was not a very hard convincing, King Xerxes, he kind of just, I understand, Haman was one of his closest advisors and stuff, but they had no problems with them up until this point.
So I think that what happened was the king gave Haman his ring, and when he had the ring, he was able to seal letters. But I don't think the king necessarily knew that Haman was doing anything against the Jews. I think that I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that he told him something different or whatever. But
he was like, you got my authority to be my guy when you go out there, and then he kind of just took that upon himself to overreach.
Yeah.
He said that Haman approached King Xerxes and said, "There is a certain race of people scattered through all the province of your empire who kept themselves separate from everyone else. The laws are different from those of any other people, and they refuse to obey the laws of the king. So is it not the king's interest to let them live? If it pleases the king, issue a decree that they will be destroyed, and I will give 10,000 large sacks of silver to the government administrators to be deposited in the royal treasury." The king agreed.
when you word it that way, and you throw in,
I think
like silver.
he really didn't really care what he was trying to do, but he just cared that 10,000 silver was going to go to the government, in his pocket.
Yeah, he paid to play for sure.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But then that's when he removed his ring and gave it to him.
Yeah, he gave it to him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good catch.
So it was after the fact, yeah.
So he goes through that. He sets for a date a year from then, March 7th, that all the Jews were going to die.
How did you get March 7th?
March 7th.
I saw it somewhere doing something.
This is scheduled to happen on March 7th the next year.
That's what it says in your Bible?
Uh-huh.
See, in mine it said the 12th month, the 13th day of the 12th month, which was like something like Azur or something, but it does come out to March.
Yeah, it comes out to March, yeah. I just have the new King James Version. Mine doesn't say March 7th, but
mine does.
That's cool that they translated it for you. I like that.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
It was called Pur, P-U-R, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, they're going. So then they do that, and then Mordecai tries to get Esther to help because obviously she's the queen now. And he's like, you got to talk to the king. You got to ask him, to change this, all this kind of stuff. And at first she's like, you know what'll happen? What?
You forgot that he was mourning.
Oh, sorry.
That's important.
So he was mourning outside of the palace. And apparently what they did back then was they, covered themselves in ashes and burlap. And they would, vocally, loudly mourn.
Cry out.
And so he was doing that outside the palace because, he found out that he was sort of the reason why all the Jews were
gonna die.
Which, I mean, technically you can say it's his fault, but Haman kind of took it out of proportion.
Yeah.
But we can understand why he would think it was his fault because he's the one that didn't bow to him. You know what I mean?
And then Queen Esther heard about it, that Mordecai was pretty much mourning.
Yeah.
So she became very upset. She tried to send him clothes to change into, but he didn't want to change.
And she couldn't actually go to him, right? Because she was staying in the palace, yeah.
It was one of the eunuchs, yeah. And then she pretty much wanted to know why he was mourning. Yeah. And then he told the eunuch what was happening and why it's happening. It's because he didn't bow, and then they did this law that they're going to kill every Jew, even the kids and the women. And she became mournful also.
If I'm not mistaken, when he starts, it took a while to get back to him, right? At this point we're almost to March 7th.
Yeah, almost. I mean, it took a little bit.
Yeah, it took a little bit. She didn't know.
A week or two. I feel like. Okay. I don't know exactly where it says actually.
She didn't know that whole time that her people were going to be killed.
Looking for your reports now.
Anyway.
Oh, it came 30 days. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then after she found out, why he was doing what he was doing, she's a little hesitant at first because going to the king without him calling for you can be punishable by death.
Where did you get that information?
It's starting to be punishable by death.
Who said that?
Okay, let's see.
Go ahead, Dylan. Keep going.
Oh, no, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
All the king's officials and even the people of the province know that anyone who appears before the king in his inner court without being invited is doomed to die.
I missed that.
unless the king holds out his gold scepter.
That's what I was going to get to.
Scepter. The king has not called for me to come to him for 30 days.
That's essentially what it says in the King James Version, too.
I love that. You guys caught that? I missed that totally.
So that's what Esther was the message to Mordecai. And then Mordecai responded, saying, don't think for a moment that because you're in the palace, you will escape when all the Jews are killed.
Yeah.
If you keep quiet at time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place. But you and your relatives will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this.
Yep. So, after that, she decides, she asks the Jews to fast and pray for 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days and 3 nights.
Yeah. And then she goes to the king uninvited, risking her life because.
And my favorite line.
Oh yeah.
She says, "I will go and see the king. If I must die, I must die."
And so she walks in. He extends the scepter, which means she's not going to die, thankfully. And he offers her anything she wants, up to like half
the kingdom. Yeah.
We were joking because while we were reading this and doing a little bit of studying on it, we came across a TikTok of animated thing that somebody had made where it shows Esther like walking into the.
He pushes open.
Yeah, she pushes open the doors. And she's wearing like this, real pretty gown, and the king just like drops to his knees and like, I'll give you anything you want, all this kind of stuff. And it was just funny because like that's probably what happened, just because she was beautiful and stuff.
I can verify that is not what happened, but I'll wait till you're done.
Okay. And so
he didn't go on his knees.
No,
I thought it was funny because
that's how they portrayed it.
He pretty much like.
Yeah.
It shows that she had like this amount of beauty and like. Pretty privilege is what you call it.
Pretty privilege? Yeah.
Pretty privilege, yeah.
And so,
I just thought it was funny.
So he offers her half his kingdom, anything she wants, and so, she invites, him and Haman to a banquet.
One
banquet.
With Mordecai, right?
Yes. And then, so she invites them, and they're like, why did you throw this banquet anyway? And so she says, I'll come back tomorrow. We're going to have another one. So they have another
That's
one.
Important. That's important that they didn't do it that day. I'm going to get to why in a minute. But there's a reason why that happened.
Yeah. Well, I know the reason, but I
can
say it if you want. Well, I think I might know the reason.
Go ahead.
Just continue doing it.
Yeah. In between those banquets, Haman has gallows built to hang Mordecai. But that night, after the first banquet, the king can't sleep. So he's having his royal records read to him, and they get to the part where Mordecai saved his life back a while ago whenever he told Esther that these guys were planning on killing the king. Yeah. So he gets to that part in the book and realizes that Mordecai was never honored for what he did. So he... I think he hears Haman outside of his door or something like that, and he calls him in and says, Haman, how would you reward someone that, that you really want to honor because they did, something great for you? And so Haman thinks that the king's talking about him. And he's like, we must have the most extravagant honor ever. And I think he says to have one of the gowns or whatever that the king wore and a horse that the king rode on, and have the person wear it.
Yeah. Perfume.
I think he actually says, have your trusted advisor or something like that. He says something
Makeover
like that.
day, spa day.
Exactly, all this stuff. And
pedicure.
About him. And the king's like, all right, great, go get Mordecai and have it done for him. Which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, he had him do it. He had him bring him all the stuff, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then...
So the king doesn't know that these two guys are beefing either, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was all under wraps, yeah. And so we get to the second banquet, and Esther finally reveals the truth that she is Jewish, and that Haman has plotted her people for death over this, however long it's been since he first did this thing. And the king is furious because, and this what makes me think that Haman didn't really explain what he wanted to the king very well, or the king wasn't, listening very well, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because at this point he's furious. I mean, maybe it's because of Esther or whatever, but so he's furious.
Yeah, there's two reasons there. What you're onto one of them for sure.
Yeah. So he's furious that Haman has plotted against his people, whatever, and so he has Haman executed on his own gallows that he built for Mordecai.
Yeah.
Which is great, honestly.
Yep.
And so that happens, and because the king can't undo any decree that's been made that has his signature on it, his ring, he puts a new law down that says that Jews are allowed to defend themselves. And so, over this period of time, what'd you say it was 75,000 people?
Yeah.
I want to say it was 5,000 the first night, or something like that, or 10,000 the first night.
Yeah. In total, a bunch of people that were trying to kill the Jews died by the Jews, and they held their own. They were able to fight back, and so Mordecai ends up rising up to get more power, and after they triumph over their enemies, completely, people stop trying to kill them, that kind of thing. They establish a festival of Purim to celebrate how mourning, like what Mordecai was doing, turned into a great thing.
Yeah.
And
it went from P-U-R. It went from P-U-R to P-U-R-I-M. And it's a festival we still celebrate today.
Yeah, somebody still celebrate today, which I thought was crazy. I didn't know they did.
Yeah.
It's basically like a carnival that, they dress up and reenact what happened and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool, actually.
So, King Xerxes was ruler over, I want to say 152 or 172 provinces from...
127.
Oh, you sure? Anyway, it was from Persia to Ethiopia.
Yep.
I don't know. I thought I had other notes. I don't know. They're all mixed in with my Elden Ring notes. So that wraps up the story, right? Pretty much.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much. Yep.
So I'm also really excited because when I was doing some study on Esther, I found out that 100 years ago, the printed Bible that we use, the Apocrypha really, they had 5 other books, chapter 11 through 16 of Esther.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, where can I find this? So it's in the Septuagint, which I own. I own a copy of the Septuagint. But the Septuagint has it differently. So they have the chapters that they had found in Hebrew, but the Greeks had a translation that had more information, and they marked those chapters with letters. So it was like chapter A, chapter B, but it was in between all of this. So it describes the dream that Mordecai had that gave him the vision to tell the king that these 2 people, there were 2 dragons that were going to assassinate him. So that he had a dream. It describes the dream to him in the Bible for Mordecai, and it also says this is why I was kind of confused at how you knew that you weren't supposed to approach the king without being invited. So in the extra information, it really goes into detail about it, like really hardcore. Like literally, Esther, when in the 3 days of her fasting, she took off her own clothes, put on sackcloth and ashes, put ashes in her hair. She also put poop in her hair. She put poop in her hair. She had poop hair. And when she went to the king after her fast, they cleaned her up, they put on a nice gown. They had a maiden behind her that was holding her dress from dragging on the ground, and then they had a maiden in front of her that she was holding on to because she was lightheaded from fasting for 3 days. So when she went before the king, when she was walking in there, the Bible says that she looked at him, and he looks up at her, and he's pissed. Like there's all this anger in his eyes, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's scared. She literally got scared, like he was so mad, and she fainted. So when she fainted, then he was like, "Oh no, what happened?" And then he runs over her. He's like, "What are you doing? Like, are you okay?" And she's like, "We really just need to talk." And he's like, "All right, well, you're not supposed to come in here and bother me like that, but let's talk." He says, "I'm your brother." And I think he means that like in a, not an incestuous way, but like in a, like confidence way. Like you can confide in me like you can, like your brother, like let's talk, like feel comfortable around me. So then she tells him, and the reason why they didn't do it that night is because he was like, "Go eat, get better, like you're messed up, you're like tore up, we'll talk about this tomorrow, like don't worry, no, don't have to worry about anything, half of what I have is yours, so like don't worry about it." So I felt like it was really important. And if you guys do get a chance to look into the extra information, the extra chapters, I definitely would, because it's really cool. And it also goes on to explain why Mordecai didn't bow. He said that if he knew that he could have saved Israel by bowing at the man's feet, he would have bowed. But he said that he was afraid that it would put worship, like you were saying, it would put a form of worship onto a man, and he didn't want to take that worship away from God. But if he knew that he could have saved Israel by doing that, he would have done that.
Yeah.
So it literally did come down to the reason why he didn't bow was because it is a form of worship.
He was strong in his faith.
Yeah, he was strong in his faith. And then it all came back around. And what was the other thing? So Mordecai, when they were at the dinner, he also said that he told the king, he was like, "Look, in the kingdom I live in, I want people to have peace and unity, and I want people to know that they can travel from one end of the kingdom to the other in peace. And I don't want them to be afraid of getting attacked." So he said that there's people in this kingdom that don't want unity, that don't want peace, that will attack people that are different, and we should get rid of those people. And those were the people that they rounded up that were ready to kill the Jews. Those are the people that got killed. Where they said that they said that those were the people that were practicing a different law and a different heart. So the people that weren't peaceful, the people that were bullies, those were the ones that got killed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it was really cool because I got to find out that there's more information to that Bible, and the only reason why it was taken out was because they didn't have original Hebrew manuscripts for those additional chapters. The Septuagint was translated from Hebrew to Greek, but they don't have the original manuscripts from doing that. So when they did find the Esther manuscripts, all they had for the manuscripts is what you guys have in your Bible.
Oh, gotcha.
Chapter 1 through 10.
Yeah. That makes sense, because, they couldn't exactly verify it at the time. I understand that.
Dude, it was literally in the Bible up until 100 years ago. But like, when I read like, the story that you guys read straight through, it's powerful. It's, like, a really good story. But when you read it with that other information, it's just, like, on a whole different level, dude. Like, she literally faints. Like, the king was mad she went in there. And he was like, "Who do you think you are?" and then she fainted, and he was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "What's wrong?" Like, I got you. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
So, that was the extra information I had. I was happy to share, and find out. But I'm glad that you guys read that. What are your feelings on the messages, and like what lessons are there?
I think one of the main lessons is there's a new word that I learned today. Providence, God's providence. Basically meaning His hidden protection. Because I think you said something earlier that God is not the word God or Lord or anything like that is not mentioned in Esther at all.
Well, it is in the other books.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
It's in like Mordecai gets down, his prayer is like pretty tight. It's like a really powerful prayer.
Gotcha.
But yeah, in the book of Esther, he's not mentioned.
But obviously, it's clear throughout a lot of it that he was there protecting them. I mean, there were so many different times where, like when Esther came and went to the king uninvited. I mean, she could have died, but God was there for protection throughout the thousands and thousands of fights that went on when people were trying to kill the Jews. He was there protecting his people.
It doesn't say she's pretty in Esther either.
No? Well.
But in the additional
So why
book,
did he choose her?
You know why? I think because when there's the other 6 people that were there that he had to choose from, because it says like they brought their like family and their people. I think that their family and their people messed it up for him. I think that Esther was like humble, she was meek, she wasn't talking, and everyone else was like, "Oh, hey, meet my dad. He's gonna be like in charge of the cookies sales, and it's gonna be great. And here's my aunt, and she can do the she can run like the store downstairs." And I think that everyone wanted like a piece, because they said they brought their people and they brought their like immediate family and their representatives and stuff. So Esther didn't have any of that. So I think she was just quiet. But it does say that when she went to him that she was beautiful. In the other text that I read.
Yeah. But even though, except for the extra stuff, they don't really have. There's no like where they prayed to God and asked for protection, any of that kind of stuff. But they were strong in their faith. For example, like Mordecai not bowing to Haman. Obviously, we learned in the other one thing, why exactly. But he said, "I'm a Jew," and so from that we can get that his one and only God was God, and he was and that's the only one he was going to worship. So he didn't want to do anything. He didn't want God to be like, "Hey, are you trying to worship him?" Even though that might not have been what he was meaning. He didn't want any mistake that he would be worshiping anybody but God. So obviously their faith was strong, and so he was there to protect them whenever they needed it. Along with that, it goes into like courage in the face of danger. When you have God in your life and you pray to him to be with you and that kind of stuff, you can be filled with courage when you wouldn't normally have it. You know what I mean?
For sure, he did get the dream about the eunuchs that he talked about to the king from God, and I think he did tell him the whole thing. He was like, there's dragons, the eunuchs were dragons, and there was like earthquakes and rumblings and lightning, and the land was going to be destroyed. So he did come at him with some Jewish vision dream thing.
Yeah.
I also think that it's important to recognize that we can't forget that fasting is like a crucial part to worship and making ourselves right before God. Like that's part of it. Like getting close to God, sometimes like fasting is necessary. Like when they were worried about when they were really, really worried that they were all going to be killed, they fasted. Like when it was serious business, and God answered, and the fact that like when weapons are created against us, that the enemies will suffer from their own weapons that they create.
Yep. Yep.
As in the big steak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to say his sons got killed in that courtyard too.
Yeah,
I read a scripture on the new or in the other version, and it said they got impaled, but that could just be like poor translation. It said they were impaled on poles, but it could have been that they were hung on poles and they were hanging from poles. I'm not sure if it was a translation thing.
Yeah. Also, one thing that we put away from it too was being proud of the fact that we are, you know, in their turn, you know, they were God's people. You know, Jews were named God's people, but you know, and with us, we shouldn't feel shame that we are who we are, and that we, you know, follow Christ and all this kind of stuff. We shouldn't feel ashamed of that. We should be proud and remain faithful to who we are as well. Like, you know, obviously she kept quiet about being, you know, Jewish for safety reasons, which is understandable. But in the end, you know, she came out and said, you know, I'm Jewish and had faith that, you know, it was all going to be okay and that kind of stuff. So.
I know the Jews are getting a bad rap right now. My personal feeling is they should be allowed to exist, and they should be allowed to preserve the customs and the history. I do feel obliged to take their side to defend them. I don't know if I agree with everything that they've done. I don't know if I disagree. I don't know if I fully understand the dynamics of it all. But the thought of, like, the world hating Jewish people does kind of bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it was always like that, and I kind of feel like it has been, because we're talking about a book that's, like, written, like, at least 3,000 years old, you know, and then he went through, you know, like, World War II and even today, and it's like, I really feel like it's the devil. I feel like it's the devil in people that makes them hate Jews for no reason other than them being Jews.
For sure.
Anyway, I do hope that the Jews make it. I don't need to agree with their government to respect them as a religion and as a having the right to exist.
Yeah.
I'm worried for them because all the craziness that's going on, you know?
Yeah.
I did do research into Palestine and Israel, and what I found wasn't in favor of Israel. It was definitely in favor of, or I mean, it wasn't in favor of Palestine.
Yeah.
I want to say that the Jews ruled Israel for like 1,500 years, and then the Romans ruled Israel for 600, and then the Muslims ruled it under the what were they called? The starts with like a C. The Cayaphats or something. They ruled it for 500 years, and then the Ottoman Empire ruled it for like 150 years, and then British ruled it for 50 years, and it was only called Palestine under the Britain rule. So for 50 years, it was a British mandate, and they had a coin, and on the coin it says Palestine, land of Israel. I don't know. The Palestine that existed under the Ottoman Empire used the Ottoman currency, so they were never like a state that had its own independence. They had the land had the name changed, but it was always Israel. So if you were native to that land, you weren't Palestinian; you were Israel.
Yep.
There's some argument to say about like on the coast of the sea, like in Gaza, there might have been Philistines, but no, still, you know what I mean? Like, it's just such a small population.
Yeah.
The chances are greater that you are Islamified Jew.
Yeah.
If you're native to that land and you don't believe in the Jews, it's because the Muslims came in and conquered and took away their freedom to be Jewish. They literally said, if you're not going to be a Muslim, you're going to die.
Yep.
So, I think the dynamic is a lot more complicated and it's a lot more evil than people are willing to talk about and admit.
Yeah.
Just had me thinking about people hating Jews. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to go off. You guys don't need to say your opinion because I don't want you guys to get beheaded over it. I don't mind. Go ahead, behead me. I think they have a right to exist though, but that's just me, I guess.
Yep.
Did you guys have any direction of what you wanted to do for another Bible study?
But I kind of like this dynamic, if that's what you want to call it.
Going through a whole book?
Yeah, but I don't know what other book we'd do. I mean, we could keep doing, Bible stories, like Samson and whatever, or, whatever, Noah's Ark and stuff like that. But he was the one who had, like, the real long hair, and he was, like, super, super strong.
Oh, he ripped off a lion.
Yeah, and he believed that his power came from his hair. And Delilah, I think her name was, she, like, cut his hair, and he lost his power, so I don't remember it all, but...
Yeah, he was a judge of Israel, and he had 3 vows he had to keep to God to keep his strength and his authority. And it was, don't cut his hair. I want to say the other thing was, don't drink. It might not have been. But the other one for sure was not to touch dead flesh. So he violated every vow except cutting his hair. And because he kept just one of the 3 vows he made, God honored it and let him keep his strength.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what the vows were. Echo, what were the 3 vows that Samson was supposed to keep? It was to avoid unclean food and stay away from dead bodies.
Gotcha.
And he violated it when he took honey from the stomach of a dead lion and fed it to his mom and dad. But he did keep his hair. So God was faithful to let him keep his strength.
Yeah. We could choose, whatever book. And I like this, like I said, but...
Okay.
What book?
I just said any book.
Echo. Echo, enough. I'm good, thank you. You're excused. You have a good day. You have a good day, too. Alright. Yeah, I'm down with any of them. Judges are good because they got like a couple cool judges in there. I don't want to overwhelm you guys because I know that like we're crunched for time and things are happening with your guys' life, and I hope that you guys are doing okay and that you guys have peace with whatever it is. Like the turmoil, I hope you guys like know like it's gonna be okay no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Did you need to talk about any of it?
Not really.
Have you talked to Pinky?
Oh, no. I texted her, but I'm pretty sure she's sleeping.
Alright.
What is, no, that's...
Was it in the book of Job? Was he the one that Job? Was he the one that got swallowed by the whale?
That was Jonah.
Jonah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that was the book of Jonah.
Who's Elijah?
Elijah or Elijah?
Elijah.
Elijah was the predecessor of Elijah. They were probably the two coolest prophets.
Okay, well, I never heard of the Elijah before.
So I might have it backwards, but one of them, they weren't related. One of them was a prophet, and the other one was like, God, I want to be able to do what that guy does, but I want to be able to do twice. I want to be able to do twice as much. Like, I want twice his power. And God gave it to him, and he got to do twice the amount of miracles.
Oh.
He has some cool miracles.
I guess we could do that then.
You want to do their miracles, or you want to do their whole? You want to do it by chapter, or what do you think?
Who are the prophets? Because it says Elijah, and Elisha. Then there's Elisha's ministry, Muhammad, and Ishmael.
Yeah, I don't know about those names. I know the stories better than I know the names.
I guess I don't know many stories.
You want to do what book is that? Kings? No. What book is that in Samuel? No, that's King David.
It doesn't tell me.
It doesn't tell you?
It shows me, like the Old Testament Bible stories in chronological order. So there's like the beginnings, Father Abraham.
Yep.
In the desert, the Promised Land, Judges, Kings, Prophets, Exile.
Do you want to do the prophets? So you do like one prophet, and then Dylan does a prophet, and I do a prophet. We could do it in chronological order.
Yeah, that's fine. What prophet should I do?
Who does it start with?
Elijah.
So I think you guys get the Elijah and Elijah, because I think that it would be good for follow through after that. Who's the
burning altar on a Mount Carmel. Carmel. Is Carmel? Really? Mount Carmel?
Carmel Mountain?
I don't know what you're looking at right now. I mean, I know what you're looking at, but I don't know, like...
It's for children.
Carmel Mountain for the kids?
This is like teach us the Bible for kids. And right now I'm on, I guess, kindergarten. So kindergartners know this stuff, and I just don't know it.
So we're using a kid's Bible story to get the. I mean, hey, it's fine. It's really the meat. It's really the meat anyway. So who's the third prophet?
Elijah and Isaiah. It's
Isaiah?
No. Elisha. Elisha.
Yeah, but those are the same guys as the first two.
Really?
I think so.
Well, maybe, because it says Elisha's ministry.
Yeah.
And then it's Naama in, what is that? Naaman?
Hold on, let me ask Echo. Echo, name me the prophets of the Bible in chronological order, starting with Elijah.
Starting with Elijah. chronological order are Elijah, Elisha, Joel, Amos, Hosea,
Joel is next.
Jonah, Nahum, Zephaniah, Habakkuk, Jeremiah.
So you two get the first Elijahs,
Haggai, Zechariah,
Elijah and Elijah, and then I'll get Joel.
Okay. Elijah and Elijah.
Mhm.
I already know most of their stories and they're pretty good, so I think you guys are gonna have fun if you haven't. Dylan, have you done them yet? Do you know anything about those two?
Not really, no.
Okay, you guys will have fun. They get down. They're probably the two dopest prophets.
Okay. Something fun.
Huh?
Is it something fun?
Yeah, they yep. They do things. They do things for sure. Joel. I got Joel.
Joel.
I get good old Joel, baby Joel. That'll be fun. All right, so we'll do what?
The prophets.
Yeah.
Elijah, and Joel.
I'll do Joel. You guys can do the other two. I mean,
Okay,
you can look at mine, but you don't have to. Just to save time
just
and
I guess. Or I could just wait until you tell me.
what?
I can wait until you tell me.
Tell me what? Tell you what?
About when you're doing our Bible study about Joel. I don't know who that is either.
No. On our next Bible study, we'll do the three prophets.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's saying she's gonna wait to find out about Joel and
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. You can read ahead if you want. If you want to fact check me, that's fine. Because you guys did kind of fact check me a little bit tonight, which was cool. I didn't know that you had that information. Like, I did not know that it said that she wasn't supposed to go to the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting too.
Yeah. It did say it in the extended version, in the director's cut. Joel.
Yeah.
Joel Prophet. We're gonna prophet. Third prophet. All right.
Alright, Dad. Sounds good.
Did you guys want to pray? Do you want to do a prayer?
Yeah, prayer for healing, please. You're good at those. You go, Dad. Good.
You want me to pray? You want me to pray for healing?
Yeah, because I need it, please. Thanks.
But I don't have my hands to lay over there. I don't have my hands to lay on you.
Have Dylan put his hand on me. Prayer on my head, Dylan. Put your hand on my head. Hurry.
You guys
pray through somebody?
look at all right.
I don't know.
You want to do a prayer for healing? All right.
Dylan, how to do it?
We could just
Please.
Dylan, are you nervous about doing healing prayers?
Yeah.
He's blinking so fast.
All right. Why don't I lead in prayer, and then Dylan, you could just stand in agreement and put your palm over her head, and then we'll pray in agreement, and I'll pray out loud.
Okay.
All right, God, I really do appreciate the time we get to spend with these two. It's really great to fellowship and to lift up your name to honor you. Jennika is not feeling well. She's been dealing with some sickness. We believe in your power. We believe in your word. We know that if we ask, we shall receive. And we ask to have your healing hand upon her. That you send her healing. You send her recovery in a miracle fashion, quickly. We believe that you have the power to do so. We believe in your promise. We have the faith of a mustard seed, and much more. We ask with love, with gratitude. We thank you for everything that you've done, for the opportunity to love you, to be loved by you, and to be a part of a fellowship and a ministry and discipleship with each other. And I thank you for everything that you've done. I thank you for the healing that you're performing and that you've already promised. We believe that you've already done, and we thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. It's that simple. And then you just take your hands off and you let God do his thing, man.
All right.
All right, guys.
Guys, my nose is already feeling better. So.
I love you guys very much. It's always great talking to you guys and spending time with you guys.
Yep.
Of course, Dad. I love talking to you.
All right. Remember the prophets. So what do you want to do for when you want to do it? When's the next day? You know what? We'll just text, and whenever you have time and your next day off, if you guys are ready, then we'll do it.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, Dad.
All right. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.